Welcome to the Zadian Revue. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Zadian.
And today we have a fun-filled episode for you guys. But to start it off, let's recap the news for the week.
And by news, she means all the dumb shit people in Florida did.
Right.
We're going to start this one off with a good one. So let me turn it down just a little bit more. It is titled "Female Jewel Thief," and that's Jewel as in the vape Jewel. That's hey buddy. Female Jewel Thief, 23, tried to make a getaway in Lyft car and then Uber van. So
So she stole an e-cigarette and then used a Lyft and an Uber to try and get away.
Yeah, she did. So
wow, this ties in so well to our topic later.
I know it does.
That makes me depressed.
So a California woman whose Instagram page is filled with photos of chronicling, good Lord, English language comes easy to some, chronicling her world travels, was arrested this week for an unglamorous crime of stealing a Juul vaping device from a Florida gas station, a heist from which she was first sought to flee in a Lyft car, and then later an Uber van. According to the investigation, Kate Lamoth, 23, and she is hot. She's pretty...
I can kind of see that picture.
Yeah, she's hot. Kate Lamoth, 23, asked to purchase a Juul device around 11 p.m. Tuesday at an Exxon in Pinellas Park, Florida. I don't know where that is. Pinellas? Pinellas?
All I heard was penis.
Yeah. Well, where she was staying home about 3 miles from the gas station. So she was staying in Florida. Lamoth, who arrived at the Exxon in a Lyft car, allegedly took the $42 Juul device. $42? Jesus Christ.
Are you upset that it cost $42 or upset that she stole it when it only cost $42?
I didn't know those things were that expensive. Anyways,
I thought they were more than that.
I thought they were cheaper. The $42 Juul device from a clerk and bolted from the convenience store. When she attempted to flee in her Lyft, the driver declined the opportunity to be her wheelman. So he was like, no, you just ripped off the store. I'm good. You can find your own way. Undeterred from that, she called for an Uber and began walking away from the Exxon. When the cops arrived, they found her inside the Uber van in a parking lot adjacent from the gas station. Lamoth, who reportedly confessed, was charged with retail theft, a misdemeanor, and booked into the county jail. She was released from custody early Wednesday after her mother posted her $150 bond.
So her mom had to bail her out.
Yeah.
On top of everything else. Wow.
Oh my God, this is great. And this is just bad writing. Lamoth's mugshot would not pass muster on her carefully curated Instagram account, which includes photos of her on the beach, skiing, and European vacations, and a private jet trip to Las Vegas. In addition to an assortment of competitive poses, Lamoth's page was made private today, also advised visitors to, quote, "Be humble, it looks good on you." So her mugshot is perfect. You can tell she's been crying. Like the bags are deep underneath her eyes. They're all red, and she's kind of got this smirk like, I don't want to be here.
Can't you just give me the answer?
Can't I just go?
But I'm Insta famous.
Don't you know who I am? I'm on Instagram.
It was just a misunderstanding.
Anyways, dumb bitch ended up in jail.
Yay.
Did you have a story?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
So this is a local news story here in Atlanta.
Okay.
Apparently, a woman... Oh, I didn't realize she died. A woman was shot and killed after an argument outside of a local strip club. So apparently, her and her girlfriend were sitting in their car having a conversation, got into a fight, and one of them shot the other inside the car. And then she got out of the car and was running back into the club to get help and got shot like 3 or 4 more times and died on scene.
Good God.
And so what makes...
Yeah, what makes this funny?
What makes this so funny? Well, it's funny to me because of what strip club it is. It's like one of the top strip clubs in the country. It's like where... I can't believe I'm about to say this. It's where, as far as Atlanta goes, like where Lemon Pepper Wings started.
Okay.
And like, there's a lot of well-known rappers who have gotten their start at like, you know, having music played at the strip club. And so then, like, it's not so, like, to show you just how in culture this place is, there's an entire song about it that T.I. and Future have called Magic City.
Is that the name of the place?
Yes.
It's called Magic City?
It's called Magic City.
So it's a little ghetto.
It's a lot ghetto.
It's a lot of ghetto. Okay.
It's like down under a bridge across from the Greyhound station by the Georgia Dome.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. All right.
So the fact that like a woman shot her and killed her girlfriend, like, it's not surprising at all.
No.
I think the most surprising part about that is that they were lesbians. But I got a good chuckle out of that when I saw that article.
It's a little dark, but okay.
I mean, it's not funny that she died. There's been a lot of violent crimes lately, but I think it's just because of where it was that makes it so funny to me.
I'm just, my article, the girl went to jail and got out for $150. Yours, she got shot on the way and died into a ghetto strip club. So, was that the end?
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more article.
Okay.
This one is titled "Teenager Battered Mom Over Soggy Pot." And it is a Florida man story.
Of course.
It's July 31st.
Okay.
Upon discovering that his, quote, work pants containing marijuana in the pocket had been laundered, a Florida teenager threw a can of Mountain Dew at his mother, according to a domestic battery complaint. So, he threw a full can.
Like an unopened can.
An unopened can. And that's heavy. That could cause some damage. Because mommy washed his pot.
Maybe do your own laundry next time.
No shit. Cops alleged that Adam Deminger. Why do they always have weird last names?
It's Florida. What do you expect?
Adam Deminger, 18, argued early yesterday morning with his mother after realizing that his pot was destroyed when his mother did his laundry in the family's Tampa area home.
I don't know anything about pot, but wouldn't it be fine if once it dried out?
I don't know. Well, I would assume it'd be like a lot like cigarettes to where it'll taste funny. Like when cigarettes get wet, if you dry them out, even though they dry back out, they do taste a little weird.
I don't know.
You never had a dry a wet pack before?
Mm-mm.
Been there, done that. The 6 a.m. dispute turned physical, cops alleged, when Deminger threw a can of Mountain Dew at his 51-year-old victim, his mom, causing, quote, the liquid to make her shirt wet. So it was opened. The liquid to make her... See, the people who even write these articles can't even talk. Anyways, Deminger's mother told police that while she was on the phone with a 911 operator, her son attempted to knock the phone out of her hand. The teenager, she said, missed the phone, but succeeded in striking her in the face. So
he tries to knock the phone and smacks the crap out of her face. Oh, man.
Seen above, Dominguez was arrested for domestic battery and booked into the county jail on the misdemeanor charge. According to his Facebook page, Dominguez works for a landscaping company. That's a shocker.
Right? I expected like McDonald's or something.
In May, Dominguez was arrested for criminal mischief after allegedly damaging various items in his house, as well as a truck owned by a relative. So, obviously, he doesn't get along with his parents. He's 18. Kick him out of the house.
Right. Get out.
Prosecutors last month declined to pursue the misdemeanor case against the teen who has his mother's name tattooed on his left arm. Jesus H. Christ.
Wow.
Nothing says I love you, Mom, like a big fat tattoo.
Just her name.
Just her name.
Just her name.
Yeah, just her name. Okay. Well,
you
that's
love
it.
her so much that you have her name tattooed on her and then smack her in the face with Mountain Dew.
With an open can of Mountain Dew, quote, getting her shirt wet. The liquid... This is the quote. This is the actual quote from the 50-year-old woman. The liquid to make her shirt wet. That does not make any sense whatsoever.
Someone's quoting something that wasn't actually said.
Yeah.
I'm going to call fake news.
Yeah, well, how about that? All right, that's it for me articles.
For me articles? Like a freaking pirate.
Did you have any other articles, or are you done?
No, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, it is your week. Last week we talked about the deep philosophical, which, by the way, the audience response to that was pretty spectacular. I got a lot of questions. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Or a handful of them. Demon. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention this. You owe Demon and Hoot an apology.
Why?
Because
I called them idiots?
Yes.
Well,
they demand apologies. No! Don't you take a drink. This is serious. We're gonna have them back on the show. We need to keep them on our side. I'm gonna need you to say you're sorry.
I physically can't even bring myself. I'm sorry.
There we go.
You're still idiots, though.
No! I get it. I'm going to edit that out.
I couldn't help it.
Okay. So,
I do really like Demon and Hoot.
I know you do. They know you like them, too. Hoot just was like, she called us idiots like 6 times.
Well, I was frustrated.
But yeah, the Demon had a lot to say about it, too. So I talked to him, and he was...
that does not surprise me.
I got a lot of good feedback on it, and
yeah.
I haven't looked at the metrics, so I have no idea how well we did.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it either.
But we did have a snafu with our RSS feed on iTunes.
Sorry.
So on Tuesday or Wednesday for some reason, was it Wednesday?
Yeah, because we were on our way to dinner.
Yeah. So it ended up. Somehow our RS feed got mixed up with another person's RSS feed, whatever. And it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been a more perfect channel that we got mixed up with. The name of the channel was Reasons to Move to Florida, and this is no shit. This is not a joke. This is dead serious.
I pulled up iTunes, and this is how we found out that it happened. I pulled up iTunes and saw, because I was looking at another podcast that I listened to, and happened to see our podcast name and our episode with a picture of the Magic Kingdom logo and Reasons to Move to Florida. And I looked at you and I was like, hey, why did you change our show picture to this? You're like, I didn't touch it. What are you talking about? And then it was every time we looked at it, more and more of their episodes were infiltrating our
feed.
It
was slowly working its way.
A virus that is Florida.
Yeah, just taking over.
Just sucking the life out of everything.
So anyway, what is this? By the way, just as an FYI, I kind of pulled up the statistics real quick. Our most listened to is now again Peppered the Target. So I think Demon and Hoot went out there and listened to it more than once to try and
to show
their stats.
That they did a good job.
It's only beating Human Trafficking by 1.
Yeah.
Which my last week's episode is third with 25 downloads. Oh. So it actually did pretty well, even though it got we had that interruption in the week, which is pretty cool. Yeah,
it's good to see that it did that well even with the interruption.
Yeah.
Do we have any new listeners in other states?
Well,
other areas?
I think our metric got messed up with that. So
it's possible.
California's still listening.
Okay.
Colorado's obviously they're listening, and then Illinois is listening. We got Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia. We've lost New York and Michigan, so Hoot has not Hoot. Big has stopped listening to us in Michigan. And as far as I can tell, no one overseas has listened to us.
No more Belgium.
Yeah, no more Belgium. Belgium's gone. So
sad day.
Yeah, sad day. What?
I just think I realized who that was. But anyways, well, that's a conversation for another day.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why that put together, but whatever.
Oh, it was separated by month. That's my bad. Okay, Belgium is still on there, but yeah, you can see by month. Anyways, carry on. No one listens to the podcast to listen to us go on about
how well our podcast is not doing.
Yeah, how well our podcast is not doing. It's actually doing pretty good, but
yeah, we're done all right for.
We do have a loyal listener in California, though. Again, shout out to our California listener.
Right, let us know who you are.
Yeah, tweet me at Von Zadian. Or tweet the show at the Zadian Revue. Anyway, go ahead. What's today's topic?
So today's topic, we're going to... So, okay, 2 parts. We're going to recap our weekend. So, let's see. Okay, I have to think. This will post Monday?
This is going up Monday, yes.
Okay, so... What will be tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tuesday, August 6th is my birthday. Yay.
Yeah.
So we went out this weekend, did dinner, and then checked out this really awesome escape room.
It really was. It was really good.
Like, so well done. We'll get into this. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, about how this experience in our escape room, because we have never had something like this happen, and we've had some weird escape room things.
Yeah. In Florida, of all places.
Right. But nothing this just dumb. That's the only way I can describe it. And then kind of we'll talk about some of our escape room shenanigans.
This week's going to be about escape rooms if you hadn't got the gist of it.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, so
it'll be the title.
Yeah. You'll figure it out.
Actually, it might be something having to do with a millennial, but we'll see. Yeah. Go ahead. You start us off.
All right. Yeah, so we decided to check out this escape room in Atlanta.
Well, tell us what you did for your birthday.
That is what we did.
I know, but you got to talk about the shitty place we went to go eat.
It was not that bad.
No, it was the $20 worth of chicken.
Okay, for those listening that were not there, because that's the majority of our fan base, it was supposed to be like southern food zhuzhed up. Is how I put it, like a gourmet take on Southern food. So they had stuff like fried green tomatoes, chicken liver, shrimp and grits, fried chicken, which the fried green tomatoes were amazing.
They were okay.
They were amazing.
They were okay. I've had better.
I've never had fried green tomatoes with goat cheese, though.
I've had better. I've had fried green tomatoes with goat cheese and bacon jam.
Where did you have those?
At that place in Peachtree City.
Oh, well, I can't speak for that.
They were the best.
I was not
They're
invited.
the best fried green tomatoes I ever had.
Anyways, it was good, and
so it was.
It was good. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't like we didn't enjoy our meal.
You're going on about, this is our world famous, not Rachel didn't, but this is our world famous
our server
fried chicken. And I was like, all right.
This is the fried chicken that keeps our lights on.
Yeah, I was like, all right. I'm going to check out this fried chicken. Yeah. I am. I like fried chicken. It's, the batter was good, not going to lie. The chicken was nice and moist, which is always good. Moist. Rachel's favorite word. But it came served with some regular old mashed potatoes and collard greens, which I don't like collard greens. I know, whatever. Anyways, and it just was. It was a chicken breast. It was a damn chicken breast, and it was not a $20 chicken breast. I could get the same quality, and this is no shit. I can get the same quality.
If you say
of fried
what I
chicken
think you're about to
from
say,
KFC.
That is not true.
That is the damn truth.
That is not true.
It is the truth.
KFC's never that.
It was same quality.
No, it was better than KFC.
Original recipe.
No, it was crispy. It was good and crispy.
Yeah, so it was crazy.
Okay, so you hated your meal. Everyone else had a wonderful time. You're just angry that you had to leave your house.
Yes. I'm not. What? I got no follow up. That's a yes.
So you automatically are going to go into any situation with like 10 points knocked off.
Well, yeah.
Because it's not within like a 2-mile radius of your home and does not deliver.
That's right. You want to know where I go for my birthday?
Nowhere.
No. Well, we'll go. We'll usually end up going to where do we go for my birthday?
We haven't gone anywhere. Well, your birthday falls right around our anniversary, so we go out.
So yeah, that's right. So we don't really celebrate my birthday. My birthday's reserved for our anniversary.
But that's not because of anything. That's because you don't want to celebrate your birthday.
I don't celebrate my birthday. I mean, it's just another day to me.
Yeah. So it's not like, woe is me, we don't do anything. Yeah.
No, but when we are in town, we usually end up. We would go to Outback or Red Lobster, because that's usually around Endless Shrimp.
Yes.
So, and I do like Endless Shrimp.
Yes.
But then we hit it for my dad's birthday too. Red Lobster is like the place my family goes for birthdays, because we'll hit Dad's birthday there too.
Yeah, well, because most people's birthday in your family falls right around Endless Shrimp. So it's just another excuse to go.
You've got me in October, you've got Dad in September, and you've got Mom and my brother in December.
Which Endless Shrimp usually ends in October, but still.
Well, yeah, which is why we usually end up going for my birthday and Dad's birthday, because Mom and Mike, they like
because they love
shrimp.
Oh, and now they have Endless Shrimp every Monday.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not. It's not all the full like shrimp menu, but
yeah.
When you got a shrimp fix.
Anyway, let's stop talking about Endless Shrimp.
I'm sorry, I like shrimp. Yeah, so we went there, and from the get-go, the night was like off by 30 minutes. Like, we show up to the restaurant late. We think the escape room was supposed to be 9:45, and it was actually 9:15. So we had to kill some time before the next escape room slot, which was 10:30. And for those that don't know, escape rooms are an hour thing. And so they stagger their slots, like their bookings or whatever. So the next one was 10:30 for the specific room we wanted to do.
Which was Al Capone's Speakeasy.
Yeah, it was Al Capone's Speakeasy. And this is one of the only places in Atlanta that has a live actor in the room with you. And each person had a character.
They gave you character cards when we first got in there, and they were introduced in the room and everything. So you had character cards that kind of went along with your personality to an extent. Like the guy was like, who can sing? And the dumbass we'll talk about later was like, I can sing. And she was a little millennial dumbass. And then, it's like, who's good with electronics or technical stuff? And
we all pointed at you.
And everyone pointed to me. All our friends pointed to me, because that's kind of my shtick. So I ended up being a bomb defusal guy. So I mean, it was set up in that kind of that way. So it was kind of like everyone had their character cards.
Yeah. So then we get to the escape room. It's supposed to start at 10:30. We didn't get started until after 11 o'clock. And like we're all older, like 30 to 37 range, I would say.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Yeah, and Cherie was the youngest.
Yeah.
By a couple weeks. So we're all like responsible adults that go to bed early. So having to like being out past 10 o'clock was a struggle for a lot of us. But we stuck with it, and then it was supposed to start at 10:30. They were running late because the group in front of us got there late, and they didn't cut their time off. They just let them play the full hour. And then they were getting ready to take us back, and the guy, like the game master, was like, "Oh man, I just realized that these people before you took some of the vital props you need. Hold on really fast. I've got to rework the room." So we had to come up with new props for one of the puzzles. So that was a struggle at first. And then we had a group of 7. And since this room can accommodate up to 15 people, there was a group of 5 with us. And this is where, they walked in at 11 o'clock when we were ready to begin. Yeah,
so the room was supposed to start at 10:30. Had the room been on time, and the escape room doesn't call you and say, "Oh, by the way, we're running late. Show up 30 minutes late." Right? Keep that in mind. The escape room, it's not like the escape room called these people and said, "We're running behind."
Right. They were struggling just to get everything moving.
So it's not like they called them and let them know. They showed up over 30 minutes late for an escape room that was supposed to start at 10:30.
And they had already booked and paid and everything.
Booked and paid for. So it already shows you their characteristic right there of just being unreliable, right?
Just already not responsible.
Yeah. So and they show up and they're millennials. Younger millennials. We're talking early millennials.
We have to point out our entire group, I'd say even Charles, we're all considered millennials within that spectrum.
I'm the only one that's on the edge.
Well, what I was reading today, they're calling it Zennials or the first millennials.
Yeah.
And that's 81 to 87, 88.
Yeah.
Which is our entire group.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we're all responsible functioning adults who have jobs.
Yeah, all of us have careers. We're all
aren't worthless people. So this group of 5 shows up 30 minutes late to this escape room, and I look down and we're getting ready. The guy's getting ready to go over the rules and hand out characters and all that kind of stuff. And I look, and this chick has her beer can with her.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can take the trash out the trailer, but you need to remember something. You can't take the trailer out the trash.
Right. And who decided that 90s fashion needed to come back into play needs to be put down. Your cut-off jeans with your mom high-waisted.
Okay, all right.
Did you
so
notice
I'm not
that too?
Crazy. I did notice that.
That is a new thing now with the big scrunchies on your wrist.
Okay.
And your whites.
Let's not beat her down for the way she looked. Let's only beat her down for her personality and for being a shitty individual.
I'm not beating her down over that. I'm not talking about her. I'm saying whoever brought that back is an idiot.
Joke's on us. She's one of our listeners.
Well, screw you. I don't mind saying that.
No, it's
maybe you should read.
It doesn't get better from the introduction to these people.
So, we're not just drinking a normal,
No, it was a tall boy.
No, it was a slim can. She had a Bud Light Platinum slim can.
Oh, is that? It was
because
tall,
we're
though.
high class.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Right. Which, side note, apparently this is a thing because when I was at Sam's today, there was a man walking around drinking a White Claw, which is like a hard, sparkling water. And it just threw me off completely. I'm like, why? Why do people walk around drinking all of a sudden?
Well, you know.
I mean, what happened to the days where we hid our box wine in a Diet Coke can?
Right.
Poor
Anyway,
Frank.
keep
sorry.
going.
Okay, I'm sorry. I get riled up. So we all get, well, before we ever got into the room, she's then hiding behind her group of friends, smoking her jewel. Just.
Yeah.
And like trying to hide the puffy cloud of smoke coming from behind her friend. Like, anyway. So we get into the room and not even 5 minutes in and we're all just like, this, we're not going to get out. And it's not because this is a hard room. It's because we're stuck with morons.
Yeah, it's possibly the worst group. So we get in there, right? And I had my reservations going into it because I'm me. I don't like the whole.
You don't like acting. And
yeah, I mean, I like it, but I don't. I just it's something. It was something new, and I was like, these people are going to be way over the top, and blah blah blah. The actor we had was fantastic.
Oh my gosh,
could not have been better. He didn't overdo it. He played along really well.
Stayed in character wonderfully.
It was really good. It was. I have no reservations about it anymore. I'd do it again. But we had a fantastic actor with us. And we're sitting there, we're starting to go through the puzzles like you normally do in an escape room. And we get to certain parts where there was one of the clues was on a music note, and it had the high notes and the low notes and the keys in which you sing in. They were circled with, you know, and it was E and B and all this other stuff.
Yeah, it was 4 sheets of music with the key signature. The key signature circled. And then there was one that just had the letter T. written on it.
So I'm doing my thing, walking around the room, looking at stuff and everything, and I look over and Blondie, the millennial girl, was sitting on the floor. Just like had these sheets sprawn out all over the floor. And I walked over there and I go, hey, do you need help with this puzzle? And she's like, I just don't get it. This one should be EB. And so I'm like, do you mind me taking a look at it? And I was like, so what do you have so far? And she's like, well, the first letter's T. And I was like, okay, how do you know the first letter's T? She's like, duh, because it's written on the piece of paper. And there's 4 sheets of music notes. There's 4 sheets of music.
And she's already shuffled the papers, yeah. I don't know how many times.
Oh yeah, shuffled them all over the place. And one of them, they just flat out give you the letter.
Well, because it's the key signatures are supposed to be equal a letter. Based on, you know, music theory or whatever. And there is no T in music. So they have to write it to make it fit, the word fit for the lock that they're trying to get you to open.
Yeah, so it's just a letter. She's like, because it's written. Like, she had this and she had jot her words.
Which,
like, can't you just give me the answer? Like, I mean, it was.
I wish everyone could see.
I had such disdain for this woman.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, well, you know, and I go through and I'm trying to explain, you know, see how this is. This key is. There's high notes and low notes. I said this key's on the high side, so that's the first letter. And I said this key's on the low side. It's the second letter. And she's like, no, this one is EB. And I'm like, no, that one's just E. And no, it's EB. So we pretty much were just like, okay, psycho, you do you. And we ended up figuring out the puzzle without her help. Right. Because of the bartender and some putting 2 and 2 together, basically. But one of the things that we didn't talk about was before going into an escape room, usually you either lock up your cell phones or you're told do not get on your cell phone.
Well, and they told us not to pull them out.
Yeah.
And they kept it very well in the theme. They're like, the bartender is very sensitive to time paradoxes. You're going into the 1920s. Yeah. Please don't pull out your phones.
So we're sitting there and we're going over clues. We're listening to this the bartender talk and everything. And like I turn around and there she is, middle of the room with her girlfriend, phone as high up in the air as her dumb little arms could take them.
Well, yeah, you got to get the right angle. Duh.
And her and her friend are sitting there taking a selfie.
Like they're having an all-out photo session.
Oh, yeah. They're changing poses. They're moving around. And it just goes to show you that, first of all, how dumb can you be that you cannot put your fucking phone down for one goddamn hour?
Right.
We're not talking a long time. Like, this dumb bitch, I guarantee you, inside of a movie theater, has her phone out at least once or twice.
Oh, yeah. It's probably watching the movie and scrolling Facebook.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I guarantee you, she's that type of person.
And my issue, I don't relate to millennials at all because of stupid stuff like this. My issue is everyone is so like, oh, look at me, I'm creating experiences. Don't buy my kids toys. I want to make memories. I'm all about experiences. Yeah. But when it comes down to that experience, we can't experience it unless we are face first in a phone and we're...
Yeah. You're not even really experiencing it.
You're not just having an...
You're just there for the selfie.
Right. You're not having an experience or making memories unless you have taken an Instagram photo-worthy picture.
Yeah.
Blue ribbon winner that is going to be posted and be liked and shared and, oh, look at all my followers.
It was ridiculous. It
drives me mad.
So also in the room, there was several puzzles that revolved around a 1920s phone. And for those of you who don't know what a 1920s phone looked like, it had a heavy bass, and then the pole came up where you talked, and it had a phone, like a cone in the front of it that you would speak into.
Like a little microphone.
And then you had an earpiece that you held up to your ear. So you listen to the part you held up to your ear, and then it had a rotary dial, which you put your finger in, you go all the way down to the stopper and go back and forth. It's a rotary dial. If you don't know what a rotary dial is, look it up.
If you don't know what a rotary dial is, you're the person we're talking about.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, anyways. So, it's like, and there's little things that you don't expect too many people to realize. It's like, even you were guilty of this, where you said you don't have the area code, and I was like, they didn't have area codes in the 1920s. Right. That's something that you really don't know about because...
Well, I do.
Do you remember there being a time where there was no area codes?
Yes. Yeah, I remember that changeover and how weird it was that all of a sudden we had to have 10 numbers instead of 7. The reason why I made that comment is because... Like, my special ability with my character was that I was the police chief. I could interrogate others. So this one particular kid, I had looked at his character card.
Yeah.
And on it, in my scanning really fast, I thought it said area code and had a number. But it wasn't area code. It was just this portion of the phone.
Yeah.
Of the phone number that we needed for something else. So when you were getting ready to dial... I said that to trigger that kid to be like, oh, yeah, look, I have this phone number.
Yeah.
Here's the other part to it.
So like I said, there were several puzzles that were revolved around the phone. And I did 2 of them. Now, the kid that she's referencing, his special or his character card said that he couldn't remember. All he could remember was the first 3 digits of the phone number. But
he needed to get in touch with his friend to tell him about something.
Yeah. So in going through the game, we found the last 4 digits of the phone number, but none of us knew he had the first 3 digits.
Except for me.
Except for Rachel and the bartender. And the bartender, in helping us out, said he needs this number.
He took the little piece of paper with the last 4 and handed it to the guy. And he's like, here, I think this is the number you were looking for earlier.
Yeah. This kid, no shit, this kid walked over to that phone about 4 or 5 times throughout the entire time we were in there.
That's all he did the entire game.
And tried to figure out how to use this phone. Could not figure it out. The bartender tried helping him. He went over, the first attempt, he just went over to the phone and just looked at it and just gave up immediately and walked away.
Like, I'm not even going to
I saw him actually do that. And then the second time he went over there, he was trying to figure out how to dial it. So he was putting his fingers in the holes and just pressing instead of turning the knob.
And at one point, he even got his little friend to come over and help, and neither one
of them could figure out how to operate this phone. And so he was putting his finger in the circles and just acting like it was a push button. And then the bartender came over and said, "No, you have to turn the dials." So he just, with it still on the hook, meaning the phone
with the receiver
on the hook, like an old phone, because it is an old phone. He just had the receiver on the hook. He dialed the number without the phone being picked up and there being no dial tone, because he's brought up in an age where that's not a thing.
Right.
You used to have to pick the receiver up and then dial the number.
Oh, I don't even think that because they looked young enough, I don't even think that they knew how a landline phone worked with
They probably don't.
An actual handset.
Yeah. So he struggled the entire time. And this is no joke. These 5 people solved 0 puzzles. 0. They contributed in no way for the entire hour. It was me, Rachel, Scott, Cherie, Charles, and Emily.
And Kevin. I think the kid that had the Panama City shirt on, he was one of the ones that when they gave us the clue about the East, and he looks here and sees the world through the chandelier. Yeah. He was one of the ones that was like, hey, look, there's a number up there where he's looking. Like, he pointed that out.
Oh, okay.
And got everyone else looking, and then he just kind of...
That's the extent of their contribution.
Right.
They were terrible.
Awful.
And it just this just nails it down at the very end when we're going through our debrief. We escape the room, right? We do everything that we're supposed to do. We escape the room and we're going through our debrief, and the guy who was playing the bartender was like, "Okay, do you guys have any questions? Do you know any puzzles that you didn't figure out, or wonder how we figured them out, or anything like that?" And like the kid, he explained to the kid, he's like, you have the number on your character, the first 3 digits on your character card, and I gave you the other 4 numbers.
And no lie, this kid looks at him and says, "Yeah, but I still need the other 3 numbers. We needed the area code." And the bartender just kind of dropped his jaw and looked at him and was like, "No, it's 1920. They only had 7 digits in their phone number." He's like, the 10-digit phone number and area code came in like the late 90s.
Yeah.
And the kid was like, "Oh."
So he and the bartender was like, why don't you go dial the number and see what the hint was?" And the kid was like, "Nah, I'm okay."
Like, he was so defeated by this phone.
Like, even when he had the solution given to him, he still wouldn't go over there and try to dial the phone, because he knew he'd probably look like an asshole trying to dial this thing and having to get explained how to dial a phone.
While all of us are just watching him.
And the bartender, bless his heart, he took pity on us, our group that was doing everything, because the hint that he got had to do with a briefcase that when we got to that point, it was either give us the briefcase or we wouldn't be able to progress. Yeah. So he was like, "Oh, so-and-so left their briefcase here," and actually gave us the briefcase. Right. Because he saw the idiot millennial.
Right. He knew that they were never going to figure that out.
He was never going to figure it out.
Because the moment he handed him that piece of paper, he should have been like, "Oh, yeah, dial the phone number. Oh, hey, man, what's this about this briefcase I heard?"
Yeah.
Well, and like at the very beginning, not even 5 minutes into the room, Emily goes to the bartender because her quest was to talk to the bartender about get a piece of information from him. And he says, go see the singer. She's got a key for you. So she goes to the singer, which is this girl who showed up drunk, the one we were talking about.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, you've got a key. I can't even formulate words. On her, so everyone had a lanyard with character cards and their character's picture and their name. And this girl, along with her character card, had a key on her necklace.
And these are people who have they said they did escape rooms before.
So you should know.
Start with a key. You know you're going to be going around.
You know, my first task is to find where this key goes.
Yeah.
So Emily tells her, hey, you've got a key. And I'm holding the lock in my hand. And I'm like, hey, you need to put your key in here. I'm pretty sure this is what it goes to. Huh? What? I have a key? And she's holding the key in her hand. And I'm like, yeah, you need to, I'm pretty sure your key will unlock this. You need to put it in there. Like, I can't grab your neck and like drag you to the lock. I mean, I could have, but what? I don't understand. And then she just walks away. So we have to like rein her back in and get her. Oh, and then she struggled to get the key to work because her fingernails were 5 inches long and filed to a point and could have murdered somebody with them. And so like anytime we asked her to do something.
My nails are long.
Like, no shit. Cut them down. What kind of job do you have? Do you even have a job?
No, she doesn't.
Like,
she still lives with mommy and daddy.
Or she's out on her own and mommy and daddy are paying everything.
For everything.
Entitled millennials.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But all of that to be said, we had a wonderful time.
Absolutely.
I would recommend this escape room to anyone.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead and plug them.
Yeah, so it's called It's Time to Escape. Their website is timetoescape.com. They have location in Brookhaven, Peachtree Corners, and Chattanooga.
# not sponsored.
Right. But hey, if you want to if you hear this and you want to sponsor us, we'd be more than happy to plug you all the time.
I was going to say, if you hear this and you want to go do an escape room, tell them that you heard about on a podcast.
Yeah, that too. And I'll probably mention that in my review. So, moral of the story, everyone should check out escape rooms. We love them. We have so much fun doing them.
Oh, absolutely. I love escape rooms.
And we're already planning our next trip back because their rooms looked that good.
Yeah.
We don't normally go back to places because sometimes they're disappointing. But theirs looked wonderful. So we're definitely going to check it out. So,
that takes us to the end of the podcast. That was a quick 45.
Yeah, well, we angrily rambled.
Yeah, we did.
About millennials and how much we hate them. Even though we're considered millennials.
Yeah, well, I can deny it. 1981.
Yeah, I'm 88 and I don't count it. Because I hate them.
Go ahead and give our socials and all that good stuff.
So, if you like what you have heard here today on the Zadian Review, you can check us out wherever podcasts are found.
iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify, and Podbean.
Please rate, review, like, comment, share with all your friends. That's how we're kind of pick up new followers and people hear about us. So that's always helpful. You can find us at the Zadian Review. That is ZADIAN REVUE on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Let us know if you have any escape rooms that you think we should check out.
Absolutely.
We're always down, and anytime we travel, we find an escape room to check out.
Yeah,
that's a big thing we do.
Every city we go to, we always find one. Like last anniversary, we went to Helen for a few days and found an escape room there and did it. And
it was awesome.
Yeah, it was very good.
And that one we did in Panama City this year on vacation that we went back to twice.
Yeah, both of those were awesome.
Those were really good rooms. But I'm sorry. Don't want to rant about those.
No, it's okay.
Don't want to ramble.
It's okay. You got anything else?
No.
Want to give a shout out to all our listeners. Thank you for staying with us. It's exciting to see our numbers. They're growing. They're growing. We're getting 25 plays or plus per episode now.
Yeah.
And that's awesome for us. We're still growing. So again, thank you to everyone. Thank you to our listener in California. Colorado listeners, Illinois listeners, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida.
And if you have a small business and you'd like to sponsor us, we'd be more than happy to plug your business shamelessly.
Yes, shamelessly, but we're going to need more of a following.
Well,
share this with people.
Throw that out there.
Listen, just it's like, hey, I heard this cool podcast. Listen to it.
Hey, I am all for. You can even graffiti our name everywhere. Whatever.
Nope. We the Zadian Revue do not.
I'm saying I don't. You can do what you want.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to condone it, but I think that's really awesome.
Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. All right, we'll see you next week for more podcasts.
See ya.